What's up, guys? Roblox Daddy-O here, and today I'm going to be doing kind of a different video. I wanted to give like a little step-by-step walkthrough on how to download and use Informal Frog's macro. I know that there's quite a few macros out there. This is the one in particular that I like. It kind of takes the guesswork out of a lot of things, but it does require some setup. Now, here's the thing. So, first off, you see all the games that are available. Like if you go to the website, I'll put it down in the description. It's informal.com/store, and you can see the different macros that are available. You got Vanguard, you have Ultra Donator. This gives you access to all the versions: Universal Tower Defense, GPO, Forge, Anime Last Stand, Anime Crusaders, Pocket Anime, Anime Adventures, Informal Task. This is like a tiny task, but it's Informal's version of it. I've actually never used it before, so I'm not sure how good it is. Anime Rangers X, and Anime Last Stand. Now, if you're like me, I have Universal Tower Defense, I have Anime Last Stand, I have Anime Crusaders, I had Anime Adventures. Bring it back, please. And I have Anime Rangers X. So I've got majority of them. I do use these for just about every tower defense game I play. Between having kids, as you guys know, if you're a regular on my channel, I have kids, right? And I take them to school in the mornings. I pick them up. I make them dinner, stuff like that. That's just my job in the household, and that's what I do. So in between playing Roblox, putting out videos, editing, and just doing general tasks with my children, I don't have the time to sit there and do the same map over and over and over again as a lot of these tower defense games require of us. So that being said, I use these macros. I've used Tiny Task, I've used Informal Frog, I've used another free one that I just didn't like. It didn't seem to have the accessibility that this one does. But anyways, yeah, so what's going to happen, you're going to go to the store, figure out which one you want, right? You're going to purchase it, whether you want to subscribe monthly or if you just want the permanent option. You're going to purchase it. After you purchase it, you're going to, whether you pay through PayPal or whatever, it's going to start downloading. Once it downloads, you're going to want to make sure that you go to the Discord. You see, where's the Discord? Oh, here it is. You're going to want to join the Discord. Okay. After you join, because that's how you're going to get your key. So after you've installed all this, you're going to do like you normally do. You're going to install it and it's going to go into a zip file and then you're going to extract it. Now, what I do, as you can see here, I've got these two folders, Anime Crusaders and Universal Tower Defense. Anime Adventures is up here. What I do is I create folders for them, and then I put them in there. I extract whatever game it is into that folder. Now, what you're also going to want to do after you've done that step, you're going to want to go into your security. I typed it wrong. You're going to want to go into your Windows security, and you're going to go into the virus and threat protection. Okay? Then you're going to go down and you're going to go down to virus and threat protection settings, and you're going to hit manage settings. Now, after you've done that, you're going to go down to add or remove exclusions. You're going to click that. This little pop-up's going to pop up. Hit yes. And then you see I've got the folders. So what I try to do, I put the folder and or file in there, and then I put the folder, like the regular folder that I have on my desktop, in there. And to add an exclusion, you just hit this. Choose whether it's a file or folder. I'm going to hit folder here. Go to desktop. Hopefully you guys can see all this. You're going to go to desktop and then you're going to select the folder. And that's going to add an exclusion. Otherwise, if you do not, so here's the thing. You can get by just turning off your virus and threat protection. You can get by doing that. But if you do that, then it's going to, like you can be running your macro and at any time of the day or night, like let's say you've turned it on before you go to bed. Well, if you go to sleep and your virus protection kicks back on, because it will eventually kick back on, it's going to actually erase this. And you're going to have to re-download the configuration that you're using, and you're going to have to re-download the macro, which is just a pain in the butt. And like the whole point of us having these things is so that they can run overnight whenever we're not doing anything on our computers and stuff like that. We want it to keep on running. We want to maximize what we get out of it, you know? That's the whole point why we spend money on these things. So, go ahead and add them to the exclusion folder. That way you don't have to worry about that. All right. Should get invited Now, it's been a long time since I've joined this, so I don't really remember the steps that happens right here. But whenever you join the regular Discord and you buy the premium for one of these macros, they invite you into the Informal Frog Premium Discord. There's this one right here. So you'll see all the different games that I have here, all the different ones. You'll get invited into them. Now, if you look under each of these tabs, there's a setup for each of them. So for Anime Last Stand, there's a setup. For Anime Crusaders, there's a setup. For UTD, there's a setup. Pretty much every single one of these has a setup. You need to follow the setup instructions to the letter, otherwise your macro might not work. For instance, whenever I started on Anime Crusaders, whenever I first started, I found the configuration I wanted to use, everything like that. Whenever I found it, I started it, and mine just sat there clicking in place over and over and over again instead of placing any units. It was because I did not have my unit interface. Like whenever you click on a unit and it pops up, for you to upgrade them, I had it set to the default side. And in the game, you can change it over to the other side. And macro has to be set to that. So make sure you follow those setups instructions. I'll go ahead and throw them up here on screen so you can see. Let's see. So as you can see, here's the Anime Crusaders guide, and it will take you through. It's got little links into each sections and how to do these things. Now, I've never used the webhooks. I don't know how they work. But you can learn how to make your own configurations if you want to, sharing and importing configurations, the hotkeys that you use to start it up, and all that stuff. And the download in the settings is where you're going to figure out how to set your game up, how to download it. It basically has all this information in it, or all the information I'm giving you now in it. But I'm trying to, I had people ask for the tutorial on how to get going. So it gives you the instructions on how to do everything, how you want to set everything up, and you go from there. Like I said, some of the stuff is not needed. This stuff, the only thing that's the most important thing is your scale on your Windows display settings. Make sure that it's 100% and make sure your resolution's above 800 by 600. I do remember having that issue whenever I first started. Whenever I very, very first started, not even on Anime Crusaders, just in general on the Informal Frog Macro, because I had different settings on my monitors. But make sure you do have that done. After you've done all that, there's inside that Discord, you'll also see the Informal Frog configs or configurations Discord. You're going to join that. Now, the reason you want to join that, and this is why I said I don't create my own configurations, is there's going to be a multitude of configurations for each game type whenever they come out. Now, if you're more savvy with stuff like this, you can create your own whenever a new game mode first drops, but I typically wait. And within a few hours, there's a configuration that I can use for whatever kind of content I'm trying to do. So this is the Informal Frog configurations Discord. Now, these are community-made configurations that you can use for what you're doing. Check out my other video. You can see that where I got Eisen, got him evolved, rolled Crusader on him, yada, yada, yada. I'll go ahead and pin that up there. That's something you're interested in checking out. I did all that by using a macro, the boss rush and the legend stage. I used a macro on them. So, but anyways, in here, so you can click portals, like you see the Soul Society portals, the winter portals, Christmas portals, and they tell you typically what kind of units you need to use, what place you need to, where you need to have them slot, you need to have your units placed in. And then let's say you go to, okay, so for this video, I'm going to do the boss rush. Now for the new boss rush, meta trait list, we're just going to click this top one, meta trait list, Eisen, 0.1% OP, click off of it. And you go up to the top of these messages. The top of these messages is where they're going to have everything that you need. So like this one, so this is the most important part. If they have this code, then this is where you can go into your macro. You're going to copy this code, go into your macro. Okay, so whenever you first install this and you go to run it, it's going to, first off, it'll pop up with a little virus thing saying that it's not safe to run, blah, blah, blah. I've run my own security checks on this, and I've seen other people run their own security checks. It's mainly the reason it's popping up like that is because it has to take control of your computer to run the macro. As far as I know. Now I'm not tech savvy enough to, say, hey, there's nothing on there that you need to be worried about. If you're that worried about it, run your own checks to be safe. Okay. Now that's the first thing. And the second thing we'll be telling you to enter your key. Now, here's how you get your key. So you go into the Informal Frog Discord, and I've got to minimize this screen so you might not be able to see it very well because my key is right there. But you go into claim key, and then you're going to hit get a key. Okay. Now, whenever you buy it, you should have the Discord perms to where you can click that and it will actually give you your key. So you're going to get that. You're going to hit get a key. And then view key, if it doesn't pop up, like I can't scroll down because my key's right there, but you'll hit view key if it's not right there, and you'll be able to see your key. You'll copy paste it, and you'll put it in. There'll be a little box right here from Informal Frog telling you to put your key in there. You're going to put it in there, and then you're good to go. And all right, you see how it pops up this little box right here? So before you do anything, or well, this is at least what I do. So it's going to pop up if there's a new version. I'm going to just hit no just for now. Okay, so it's going to take your Roblox game and move it into this. If you're trying, like if you're fast like me or ADHD like I am, you can just grab the top of this, move it, and it'll immediately grab your game. So with that code, so this is the main UI. With that code, all you have to do is go to Open Settings. You're going to go down to Discord Bot. You're going to enable interactions. Remove that one. Paste that code. I'm going to hit save. And now you'll see this says settings saved successfully down here in this box. And then I'm going to close it. Now for that particular one, that was that's for the boss rush. So on some of so whenever you put that configuration in, so let's see. So for that configuration, you see it says auto ready off, no pathing start in boss rush. Config also works if you replace Aqua Stark with Satan Sinbad, confirmed by 2 people. So like it shows what slots, the units that I'm going to be using. And then it has a picture of where you want to place yourself. Like you need to make sure that you line your character up with the picture of the placement, or with the picture that they provide showing you where you need to put yourself. Because that's whenever the macro starts running, it's going to run from that point. And you got to make sure that whenever it's placing your units, it doesn't get placed in the wrong areas. So we're going to do that. All right, now back to the macro. So I chose boss rush. So let's see. So whenever you put in that code, you're going to hit, this is the boss rush icon. You're going to hit it here. You want to make sure, so you see right here, it already shows the units. 2, 2, 2, 5, 2. Now these are the slots. Priority first. That's normal. Upgrade. So you see here, it's just going to place a unit. If it's on upgrade 0, it's just going to place the unit. See the X and the Y? That's the location of where it's going to place the unit. That's why you have to make sure that you're standing exactly where the picture shows, like on these configurations, you need to make sure you stand exactly where the picture shows that you need to stand. So X, Y, that's exactly where it's going to place the unit. So you see it places, it places all my speed carts first. And then it places Lloyd. And then it maxes out 2 of the speed carts. Then it places Theo. And then it goes back to the last speed cart, maxes that out. And then it places Luffy versus Kaido. And yeah, and it'll sit there and play, and it'll play all of it for you. Let's say you're doing a portal, right? You can hit portals. Now this is going to typically say Marine right here. So this is typically going to say Marine. You're going to, whatever portal you're doing, you want to type in the first word of that portal. Okay? You want to type in the first word of that portal, because what's going to happen, so say I just left it at Marine, but yet I'm doing Soul Society portals. What's going to happen is whenever it completes that map, or that portal, and it goes to the end, it's not going to start another one, because it's going to go, and it's actually going to take control of your mouse, and it's going to type in Marine into your portals to search for your next portal to run. So, obviously, you're not running Marine portals. So, as long as you type in whatever portal you're running, make sure you click in this host and this force pick first. Click that, and it will actually take over, and it will type Soul, as I have typed in here, and it will continue to play the Soul portals. So, now let's say you're doing, like, let's say that it was the winter event portals. If you're doing like, let's say you got tier 7s, tier 6s, blah, 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 but you're trying to do tier 11s, it's going to pick whatever portal's next. So you want to delete any of the portals that are not that maximized portal that you're trying to run. Now, if you're just trying to sit there and have it run portals, it doesn't matter which ones, what tier it runs, then you're fine. But if you want it specifically doing the highest tier portal, then you need to delete any portals that are not the highest tier. Now, card prio. So, I typically don't mess with this stuff, but this is where you can select, like, whenever there's a buff that's coming out or a trade-off where you lose something, you can select what is going to be the #1 priority and which card it's going to select whenever it's running things like that. Like if you have to select cards throughout the map, it'll actually select whichever ones you choose as a priority. Discord bot, I already went over that. Keybinds. So this is pretty easy. Whenever you want to start, like let's say you've got your configuration ready, you've got your units ready, you're standing where you need to be at in the map, you hit F1 to start it. Okay, to pause it, F2, to exit, F3, and then to walk around, I don't mess with any of these. The only ones I use are F1, F2, and F3. All right, now I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to go ahead and make this team and show you guys exactly what I mean about like where you start and stuff like that. Now I just got to move them to where it tells me to move them. Ooh. Okay. Void. And okay. So right now, so you see I've got it in there. I've got the team set up the way I'm supposed to. I'm just going to show you all the start. I'm not actually going to play this through. So I'm going to go into boss rush. Boss rush. Now, so this particular configuration that I'm using, I wanted to do traitless. Why traitless, you might ask, if that makes it harder. Well, here's why. So on traits enabled, you get 65 to 100 of these, you get 2% drop of the Wings Perfection, and you get 200 diamonds. Now, if you turn it off and you do it traitless, 300 diamonds, 4%, and 130 to 200. Now, for somebody like me who's trying to create YouTube videos, the name of the game, whenever it comes to new unit showcases, evolutions, yada yada, is speed. You want to be one of the first ones there creating these videos because you want to, you want your video to not be sitting there getting buried beneath the 12,000 other streamers that are YouTubers that are trying to put out videos as well. So it's all about speed. So I'm looking for the quickest thing I can to get the evolution materials I need to evolve Eisen. You don't have to do traits disabled. You can do traits enabled if you want, but I will say that I have not seen, because it doesn't really need it, I have not seen a macro configuration for traits enabled. It's most likely easy enough to where you can beat it with like a tiny task and just let that run. So traits disabled, we're going to hit play. Play here. Start. I'm going to look at the image. So this is the image of where it's telling me to stand. So it says align yourself at the corner. So I'm going to go right to that corner. Make sure I have my auto start is off. Like basic instructions for setting these things up. Auto start off. Graphics all the way down. I believe mine are. Oh, no, my graphics quality is up. Graphics all the way down. And again, this is going to be in the settings. So it says align yourself with the corner. So I'm going to go right here. All right. Now, I'm just going to hit F1. Boom. Gonna sit there, click in place for a second. And then it's going to start placing units. And then it'll just run just like that. I'm not going to make y'all sit here and watch the entire thing of this. I'm just showing y'all how it places the units. Got them all put there. My hands are completely off the keyboard. It's just running on its own. Now, if I remember correctly, for this particular configuration, my stats were not, I didn't have like SSS on Coyote and all that stuff. So I was not able to beat it with this particular configuration. I had to switch, and I believe I'm running in Mr. Champion, SDead, DO, and LVK. Yeah, pretty much the Aqua's switched for Mr. Champion, and the Stark is switched for Esdead. And I was able to beat it that way. I have better stats on my Esdead, and then Esdead summons clean up anything else. So, in fact, it was quite a bit quicker than this one was. But anyways, you guys see how it's sitting there placing all my units down, and then like what I do, so after I've got it going, I sit there and I watch a round or two to make sure that it's not having any issues. Doesn't have any issues, I'm good to go to bed. And then get up the next morning, create my awesome evolution video, and post it for you guys all to watch. Anyways, all right, so that's it. You see like how it's placing down all the units. You see how it's going through and upgrading them whenever it needs to upgrade, and you're clear. Now, you can't beat, for me at least, it's $5, I think, to get the Anime Crusaders, and it saves me a lot of time. And as an adult, that's one of the things I've learned is you can't get time back. So $5 to sit there and pay for the time that it would take for me to sit here beating these stages over and over again, missing out on time with my kids, stuff like that, you can't beat it. So to me, this is well worth it. To some of you, you may not see that or think that $5 is worth it, but to me, it is. But as you can see, like I said, it's playing through. It'll play through the mission. Whenever it's over, it will sit there and hit retry and go again. And it'll sit there and just run over and over and over again until you tell it to stop. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing in this video. So let's say I want to stop it. I'm just going to hit F3. There we go. I don't know what that was, but typically you just hit F3 and it immediately closes out and you're good to go. Now, let's say you've got this running, you need to do something else on your computer real quick. Typically what I do is I wait until it finishes its run. I hit F2 to pause it and go and do whatever I want to do on my computer, and then come back and hit F. I can't remember if you have to hit F2 again to pause it again, or to play it, or F1 to keep it going. I'm not sure, but you hit one of those and then it'll start back up and you're good to go. But I think I covered everything as far as like a noob getting this stuff set up and going. I think I could be completely wrong. But the good thing about all this stuff is easy to find. So here's the thing, guys. If you can't figure something out, or if your macro is not working the way you want it working, so let's say this one wasn't working the way I wanted it to, I just type in here, hey, it's doing this, can you help? And the same person that created the configuration, because they are so well versed in creating configurations, they typically have an answer to your question, or somebody else that's running it will. Okay. Now let's say they can't help. Well, then all I got to do, this is on the configuration Discord, all I got to do is switch over to the premium, the Informal Frog Premium Discord, and I go to whatever game it is, and I click on the support. And then I can sit there and type the issue I'm having in there. And they do help. They will help you. All right, guys, I appreciate you being here and watching the video. Sorry, it's my first time doing a very long, thought-out little guide like this. Maybe I need to script it next time. I'm not sure. Hopefully it was helpful to you. If there are questions that you have that you can't figure out from the support channels, the walkthrough or the guide that they give you in the Discord, please feel free to ask in the comments. I will do my best to answer those questions. Just leave them there in the comments and I'll get to them. As anybody that has seen my videos and comments on them knows that I respond almost immediately. Especially as a growing YouTuber, I want to engage with my audience and start building a community. So I am pretty readily available unless I'm asleep. But outside of that, yeah, I did my best here. Please do check out my other videos. You can see how I got these units, how I've got units in Universal Tower Defense and stuff like that. Or if you want to see some fun videos with me and my kiddos playing, check those out as well. I appreciate it, guys. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace.